Alright guys, we are back with round one, Edison Fomat at Epik Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got the return of Robert Mcnett playing the Nitro Vayu Turbo deck versus two-time world's competitor Nguyen on the rights playing Machina Gadgets. Been a while since we had Mcnett on the channel. He's kind of moved on to Advanced Yu-Gi-Oh, but came back on this particular day, borrowed Nitro Vayu. So first time I've featured this deck on the channel, we'll see how it does. Well, Jimmy occasionally plays Edison. He shows up every once in a while. So it looks like Jimmy won the roll. Starts off by normal summoning Green Gadget. Green, search red. See, I think Gadgets is a solid deck. The only issue I have with Gadgets is that it just gets cooked by deck dev. But I've been telling people I'm gonna try a few different decks, at least at locals. And Gadgets might be one of them. Anyway, here comes Greffer from Mcnett. So yeah, this deck plays a little bit differently because you don't rely on Raikou, because a lot of the times the turn one plays to set Raikou. So now you're like gonna use Arma or Greffer turn one. So Greffer sends Sirocco and Vayu. So attack with Greffer. Most likely. Unless if you have another Vayu you really want to pitch from your hand. So I'm interested to see this deck because it's still new. I've never tried the deck. I've maybe faced it once on DB Ladder. I'm not sure how good the list is. I know we had 3 in top 8, which... Did it catch people off guard? I think the triple Icarus, I think, is a reason why they probably caught a lot of people off guard. Because I faced Sal playing this deck as well in this same tournament off camera. And yeah, even though I knew the list, I still like, I'm like in a habit like playing against a traditional Vayu deck. So like he caught me off guard. I didn't play around Icarus attack. I was kind of like, oh dang, and he caught me. So I think that was another reason why they performed well in Chicago. They probably caught a lot of people off guard with the main deck triple Icarus attack. Anyway, now that I'm done yapping, here Jimmy MSTs the Mirror Force. Activate Solidarity. Mcnett checks his back rows. Now, who do I want to see win this match? Definitely Gadgets. Okay, so attack over the Greffer for 400. Now, how have these two performed on the channel this year? Even though they haven't played that much. Mcnett's got 1 win, and they both got 1 win. All right, here comes the Lure from Mcnett. Banishes a Necrogardna. Activate Upstart. Here comes Heavy. Starlight Road. No Road. Ooh, Deep Prison Oppression. He had Solemn, so he didn't fear Road anyway. Summon Card Trooper, mill Prison, Torrential. So you still have Card Trooper to mill. Alright, pass. Jimmy's up quite a few cards. But Mcnett still has the Vayu and the Sirocco in his graveyard. But this is not looking good for Mcnett. But he's going to draw a card off the Card Trooper. So here, Jimmy summons yellow, get green from deck. Jimmy, do you play Fortress, man? Or Gear Strike? I've been playing the Machina Hamster deck on DB recently, and when you don't see Orange Gadget, man, it's tough to win. Alright, so he pitches Red Gadget to summon Fortress, attack over Card Trooper for 21. And Robert's gonna draw Mcnett. Attacks him with yellow, and he does have the Gores. Summons in an attack mode. So people have asked me why does everyone summon like Gores and defense and Chaos Sorcerer in defense? It's usually to play around Mirror Force, but sometimes you do need to summon them in attack mode. I remember there was a time when I think one of my friends he messed up by dropping the Gores in defense mode, and I think his opponent had a monster with 2600 attack, and he ran over the Gores. in defense mode, and it just out of habit of dropping it in defense mode. I think it was on camera, but I can't remember what monster it was with 2600 attack. Yeah, I can't remember what monster it was. Anyways, here, he summons red, grab yellow. The Jiminator. Jimmy was at RBT Denver. I stayed with him. He started off pretty good the first day with Black Wings, and then he switched to Diva Hero for day 2 and didn't do well. Not Diva Hero, Hero Beat. Diva, I think is Diva. Maybe it might have been Crystal Seer Hero Beat. Alright, let's see. Jimmy's gonna check the graveyard. So what's the token at? So he runs over the token with red, and let's see if he tries to crash the fortress into... So 200. See, this is another reason why I don't like Yada and Jar. If that is a Yada and Jar back there, it's the same reason why I don't like Reckless Greed in Hobby's GB deck. But I think, honestly, I'm starting to warm up to Yada and Jar a little bit, because I feel like the decks are so inconsistent in Edison Fomat that I would never play them over Upstart. But I'm starting to think, man, maybe you should play both. I've been doing that with a few of my decks lately. Anyway, here, Robert activates Vayu effect, bring out Arm Wing, run over the red gadget, set a second back row, pass to the Jiminator. Jimmy summons yellow. Jimmy doesn't even have a play mat. He just played on the mat that's rolled out at Epik. Here comes Solidarity. So Fortress attack. Let's see, do you have a D prison? So Icarus, here's what I was talking about. Yeah, my guess is this is a reason why they all perform well. Because even me, I knew the deck list. I knew Sal was playing Nitro Vayu when I faced him. And I still did not play around Icarus. And I can't even imagine when people don't see it coming. I at least had the idea, but I guess we're just so used to playing the traditional Vayu deck. And it still plays like a normal Vayu deck. You would just assume, oh, they're not on Raikou. Or sorry, they just didn't draw Raikou. Or Hamster. That's what I would assume. So yeah, that's my guesses. In the past, I've randomly main decked one Icarus in my Vayu deck in the past, and I've beaten people with it. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why they all performed really well. I mean, there's other reasons. They're obviously great players. Kalenda, Dirk Wagner, Scarpelli. So you got to take into account like a lot of those factors. All right. Robert thinking. You got what, 2 cards in hand? It's been a pretty long game 1. But it just gadgets. Gadget matchups take a while. So Greffer, discard Vayu, send Sirocco. I mean, he already used Necro, right? So he's getting aggressive. I mean, we know he doesn't have Solemn. He used it. So attack. Mirror Force. Oh, Prison. Arm Wing attack. Limiter. So it goes up to 28. So he's going to take 500. What's life? 3,000 to 15. So why not just Limiter instead of... And then hold the D prison. He plays another Solidarity. Summon red gadget. Attack over Greffer. It's at... So he's going to take 12. He just drew Rhoda. But you got to be careful with what you summon. Do you even have a monster that can run over the red gadget? What's his back row? What's the back row? Jimmy takes game 1. Are we going to see the back row? Oh, no, we didn't see it. All right, so Jimmy takes game 1. Or will Robert Mcnett pull off the Legacy 2? Now, someone in the comments asked me about Forg. Mcnett is actually the only person to ever win with Forg on the channel, I believe. I don't think Sal ever won with Forg. Yeah, Robert was the one guy who won with Forg. And then he stopped playing Edison after that. I was actually shocked to see him on this particular day. And for those guys who don't know, usually when I show up to locals, I try to get the variety when I film these matches. And I knew Jimmy was on Gadgets. And Mcnett told me he's on this deck, which I'm glad to feature. I know people are like, oh, it's Vayu, but at least it's a different version of Vayu. So we can see the hands it draws, how it interacts with each matchup. I did practice a few matches against it. My friend, the other Robert Hernandez, was playing this deck as well, and I tested a few matches against him. Okay, so he does choose the Vayu, leaves him with Prison, Rug. So yeah, his hand's not very good. And he Mirror Forces the Greffer. Prison, Rug. And like, what are you going to do? Prison a Gadget? You're going to definitely Rug a Gadget, but... I know my friend Randy, what's up, 817, he hates Mirror Forcing Gadgets. It's like one of his biggest pet peeves. So he has the Rug. Solemn? You know, Solemn the Rug? I mean, if that's your only gadget, it's not a bad play. Yeah, it's not a bad play. Because then he's going to have to prison your gadgets unless if he draws a monster. Yeah, this was not a bad play. I don't blame him. Sucks giving up half your life points, but if he tells me he doesn't have another gadget, but you could just start beating him down. So he chose not to attack, but you could have. You could just beat him down. If he prisons a gadget, that's fine. So he MST's the new one because he knows the other one. Oh, so it's a dead Icarus. Yeah, he knows your other two cards are D-prisons. So now, are you going to take the minus and prison a gadget? I think he might do one. Let's see. Or do you just take the damage? Yep, he's going to just take it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a swift 2-0. Okay, does that help Robert? So Armonite, send... He has Necro and Plague, sends Vayu to the graveyard. Tax over red. Set 1 and pass to the Geminator. Yeah, see, I'm not the biggest fan of this version of Vayu Turbo. The Raikos just help you win a lot of the times, but I get the argument is you mill your bombs. But man, there have been so many games I've won with thanks to randomly milling randomly milling a Sirocco or a Vayu, and I'm not sure. All right, so Jimmy activates Solidarity, sets it back row, chooses not to attack. He could have. I guess he's afraid of the D prisons, but I mean, he is low. He is low on life, but he could have attacked with one of them, I think. Yeah. He could have attacked with one and see if he prisons. But maybe he's just trying to protect those life points. Okay, so Mcnett sets another backward. He got Dust Tornado. So summons a green. But I mean, Jimmy's real. I mean, this man's been in the world twice, so just see the way he plays the game. Another Solidarity. So he's going to attack with yellow. He's still got the Gardener in there, so he's going to Gardener. Now he's getting more aggressive. So he de-prisons the green. Now Jimmy's going to have to decide whether he attacks with the second green. Okay, so you see here he's hesitating. So he does attack with the second green, gets prisoned. I mean, look, Jimmy's up like 4 cards on Robert. I mean, Robert's got Plague in the graveyard, but I think this is GG. Robert's body language, yeah, it's just it's not great. Here he summoned. So another thing that changed recently is Epik actually moved our Saturday Edison local. I think that's one of the reasons why Robert played, was because usually we used to do Edison at 2 p.m. But now that they've introduced Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis took over the Edison spot and they bumped Edison back to 7 p.m. So McNett concedes. Yeah, I think that's why he played, because he there was no one there for advance, because there was that was like regional and YCS is going on at the same time. So Jimmy is moving on with a 1-0 record. Now McNett, I think, will not be returning. Let's see who else we will feature in this tournament. Okay, this is round 2. Will we get Nitro Vayu again? Not round 3. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is this tournament was... Oh yeah, we will get Nitro Vayu one more time, but a different player. Same name, Robert, but a different Robert. But yeah, we will be back soon. This tournament was 3 rounds of Swiss. Cut the top 8. And if you guys haven't already, please consider joining our members only. I'm uploading a bunch of War League matches. War League started. We're off to featuring myself, the Sheriff Los, the Tire King Javi, Randy Wizup 817, Ryan I. They're all my team. 2-time YCS champ Cam the Man Neo. So that link's in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time.